Sir,
start our IDE sessions by working on debugging. So what is debugging? Simple definition of debugging: finding errors
to check
present
up
in your program, we call
finding
as
error. Yeah.
debugging. Now in IDE, debugging is nothing but executing the program step by step and trying to find out where the problem is present. That we call as debugging. Now listen carefully. Imagine, let me launch my IDE first. Imagine you have created a IDE program which is having 100 lines of code. Just imagine, okay, I created an IDE program. I just call it, I think the name of that program was registration. Uh, Friends, don't mind. I'll actually keep all of you on mute so that background noise would be reduced. You want to ask any questions, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the questions. Okay, fine. Anyhow, friends, so let me call the programs I have created in the last session. I'll click on open. If you remember, we created two programs. One program was registration and another program was login. Now just look at the code. See, this registration program, when I execute this program, when I simply click on play current test case, do you think the control is in our hands? Once I click on it, automatically the complete program is getting executed. Just watch. I will slow down the speed of my program and I will execute it. Just see what is happening. It's launching my application. One after other, whatever steps we have manually performed, everything it is doing. But you see that control is not in my hands. I am not doing anything. I can't control the program. Until the complete program is over, there's almost nothing that we can do. We have to wait until the program is over. We have to wait until the program is over. Now, what is debugging in IDE? Debugging is the process of controlling the execution of the program. You take that control into your hands and you execute the program step by step. Example, as I was trying to tell you, imagine you created a big program which is having 100 lines of code. When you execute it, you see that the first 20 lines of the code is working properly. Later, some issue is coming. What is that issue? I want to find out. But we see that whenever we click on this play button, control is not in our hands. Complete program is getting executed. So what I want to do now is, I want my program to execute only the first 20 steps, Remaining code, the control should come into my hands. I should be able to execute the program step by step and find out where the error is present. I hope you are understanding. This we also call as inserting a breakpoint. What breakpoint does is, it will stop, it will take the control from the hands of IDE and the control will be passed into our hands. So you can execute the program step by step. Please watch. At the position of entering state, this is where I want to put a control point. So I'll just right click on that command. We have an option called toggle breakpoint. When you click on toggle breakpoint, I hope everyone is able to see a pause symbol is getting generated over there. Now click on play current test case. Watch what happens. Your program will stop at that location where you are supposed to enter the state. Okay, you see, is it entering my state postal code? No, the program has stopped. Now if you look at the IDE, till today a particular button was on deactivated position. You see this? This is called as the step icon. Step icon in the sense, if you click on it one time, one step gets executed. One more time you click on it, one more step gets executed, which means I can take the control into my hands, execute the program step by step, find out where the error is present. Please watch what happens when I click on that step icon. One time I'm clicking on step, you will see that it will enter the state. One more time I click on it, what is happening? Postal code. One more time, country. So the control is coming into your hands so that you can analyze where the problem is present. Now once the analysis is over and you want to execute the complete remaining program, you see we have something called pause resume button. If you click on pause resume, the remaining part of the code will get executed. I hope you are understanding. So debugging in IDE is a very simple mechanism where you stop the execution of the program at a particular step by using a breakpoint. Once the program stops over there, rather than stopping, I think I should call it as pausing. Once the program pauses over there, the remaining code can be executed step by step just to analyze where the error is present. This we call as debugging. Okay, please take down. Put the heading as debugging in IDE. I just want to close off Selenium IDE today. Okay, there's no point in continuing with the wastage of time. Debugging in IDE and take down. This can be done by inserting a breakpoint. This can be done by inserting a breakpoint. This can be done by inserting a breakpoint. Take down the navigations. Look at the screen. How did I enter the, how did I put the breakpoint? Simply right click on the command where you should put the breakpoint and then click on toggle breakpoint. Okay, take down. First step is right click on the command where breakpoint should be inserted. Second step, click on toggle breakpoint. Click on toggle breakpoint. A pause symbol gets generated. A pause symbol gets generated on that command. A pause symbol gets generated on that command. Then what are we doing? We are clicking on play current test case. The program will execute till the breakpoint. Okay, take down. Click on play current test case. Click on play current test case. Program pauses at the breakpoint. Program pauses at the breakpoint. The remaining code can be executed step by step. The remaining code can be executed step by step by clicking on step icon. The remaining code can be executed step by step by clicking on step icon. By clicking on step icon. Okay. Look at my screen. See, again I'll show you. This is the pause symbol which we generated. Now what are we doing? Just ensure that application is on opened position. I mean the browser is on opened position, and then click on play current test case. You will see it will do all the activities until that breakpoint. We put a breakpoint on state, so program is stopping there, and you will see that a new icon is getting highlighted on your screen. That icon is called as the step icon. One time you click on it, one step gets executed. So step by step you are executing it. Okay. So this we call as breakpoints or debugging. Now friends, to remove the breakpoint also same navigations. Wherever you have inserted the breakpoint, just right click on that command and then click on toggle breakpoint. What is the meaning of the word toggle? Toggle and enti? Both. Yes and no. So toggle breakpoint is used for inserting a breakpoint. It is also used for removing the breakpoint. Okay. Finish. I'm a bit fast today because I want to wind up IDE. Friends, the next concept is called user extensions. You know what are user extensions? I'll show you. Please watch. I will create a new test case, and let us say in the command section at the bottom of my screen at this location, I am typing CLI. When I type CLI, do you see it is showing all the click related commands, auto generated commands which are already available in IDE. Similarly, In the last session, we talked about verifications and assertions. When I type VERI, am I getting the list of all the verify related commands? Now, what I will do is, I will type while. When I'm typing while, are we getting any auto-generated drop-down? No, because as I told you in the first session of IDE, IDE does not support while loops, if conditions, all these things cannot be implemented. Similarly, I will type go to. Am I getting any suggestions? No, because by default in IDE, all these commands are not present. Only if the command is existing, like type. Type is an existing command. It is showing me all the suggestions. While loops cannot be implemented in IDE. Go to statements, go to ante if conditions cannot be implemented in IDE, but that is just half of the truth. You can implement while loops and go to statements provided you know Java scripting, not Java. If you know Java scripting, you can implement while loops and go to statements. How? Just watch. In the program that I created, these commands, open, click, type, select, whatever commands you are seeing over here, all these commands have been created by the Selenium community, and they have been created in a language called JavaScript. Okay, using JavaScript, they have created all these commands. Now, if you know JavaScripting, you can create your own commands and add them to the IDE library. These additional commands are generally called as user extensions. You're understanding? Imagine that IDE is already having 100 commands. Now, if I know Java scripting, I can create the 101st command, 102nd command, any number of commands. The code that you write in JavaScript for performing some activity, add it to the IDE library, a new command gets generated. Now, using user extensions, we can implement while loops, go to statements, etc. Now, if you know JavaScript, well and good, you create your own code. If you do not know, there are some user extensions which are directly supported by the Selenium community. We can download them and we can use them. How will I get it? Go to our site seleniumhq.org, and there you click on, which tab we are clicking on? Documentation. When you click on documentation and navigate a little down, the very beginning itself you will find IDE section. In IDE section, you click on this link called user extensions. Now, it navigates to another link called page. Just click on the page link. Okay, and here you see a GitHub repository. Now, at this point, don't ask me what is GitHub. GitHub is a version controlling system which we will see after a few sessions. We will be uploading our code into Git, downloading our code from Git, everything I'll teach you. But please understand that some person has created a code for implementing while loops and go to statements, and he uploaded it in a GitHub. So just download it. Click on that link, and on the right hand corner you will find a button clone or download. Click on it, and then you click on download zip. The complete folder will get downloaded into our machine. Okay, I think it's done. It's done. The net is slow. It does not take so much time, but I think I already have some user extensions which I downloaded. No need to wait for this download. So please watch. It's a zip file, friends. Once you get it, you extract it. After extracting, the folder looks like this. Open this folder. Open this folder. You see there is a S-shaped file. It's a JavaScript file. If you have Notepad++, you can actually open that file and see the code. Some code they have created. If you are understanding JavaScript, yes, you can go through it. If you don't understand, nothing to worry. What you do is, for my convenience, I'll copy it from here and I'll paste it on my maybe desktop. Okay, just for sake of my convenience, I'm pasting it over here. So you see, this is the JavaScript file that we have downloaded. Go to Selenium IDE and watch. Click on options. Already I added it over there, so it's showing. But you come to this location called Selenium core extensions and browse the path of the JavaScript file. Where is our JavaScript file? Desktop. What is the name of that file? Side flow. This is the JavaScript file we downloaded. Browse the path and click on OK. Whenever you add any user extensions, we have to restart IDE. Restart means simply stop and start it again. I'm closing my IDE. One more time we'll launch IDE. Now once I launch IDE, this time you will see that when I'm typing while, am I getting while and wait commands? Previously options were not coming. Similarly, if I type go to, am I getting go to if, go to and wait? All these have been added because of the JavaScript file that we have put. See, I am not trying to teach you how to use while loops and for loops in IDE. My intention is only to tell you that if you know JavaScripting, we can actually make IDE into a little more powerful tool than what it is actually. So don't always be under the impression that IDE is just a useless tool. It does really, it can perform good work provided you know JavaScripting. Okay, take down. Put the heading as user extensions. Now friends, online friends, I have put everyone on mute, but if there are any questions, you can either ping on the chat or you can unmute yourself, okay? Just unmute yourself and please ask the questions. Fine. Put the heading as user extensions. User extensions. Take down. These are JavaScript programs. These are JavaScript programs which are used to enhance the capabilities of IDE. You can look at the screen parallelly if you feel I'm going fast. These are JavaScript programs which are used to enhance the capabilities of IDE. Which are used to enhance the capabilities of IDE. Okay. Next, by default, IDE does not support while loops and go to statements. By default, IDE does not support while loops and go to statements. We can implement them. We can implement them using user extensions. We can implement them using user extensions. Okay, take down the navigations. What is the first step? Open seleniumhq.org. Click on documentation. Go to Selenium IDE section and click on user extensions. Go to Selenium IDE section and click on user extensions. Click on page link. Click on page link. One more time I will quickly show you. Please watch. We are opening seleniumhq.org. Then we are clicking on documentation. And in documentation you go to the IDE part and then you click on which link, friends? User extensions. After clicking on user extensions, you are clicking on, do you see a small link called page over there? Click on the page link and then click on which link? This one. Okay. Click on the next fifth step is click on that URL you take down. Click on next step, click on clone or download. Click on download zip. Click on clone or download. Click on download zip. Click on clone or download. Click on download zip. Okay. Next step. Extract it and open it. We will find sideflow.js file. We will find sideflow.js file. Next step, launch IDE. Click on options. Again, click on options. Click on options. Click on options. Just watch what are we doing. We are clicking on options. One more time options. And there, where are we going? Selenium core extensions. Okay. Go to Selenium core extensions. Go to Selenium core extensions. Browse the path of the JavaScript file. Browse the path of the JavaScript file. Okay, now while loops and go to statements. Now while loops and go to statements will work in IDE. Now while loops and go to statements will work in IDE. Okay, finish. This is user extensions. Friends, one final topic I will take and I will wind up IDE with that. Listen carefully. From day one onwards, whenever I was working on IDE, you might have seen that we are working only on the Firefox browser. IDE recording can be done only on Firefox, but the execution of the IDE program can be done on Chrome or other browsers also. But the problem is that this feature is still in its experimental stages. So you can't expect stability in these programs. Try it. If it's working, fine. If it's not working, okay, at least we know the concept. So what I want to do is, currently the program that I have created, the registration program, let me just call it open. When I say don't save, why it's okay. Oh, sorry. Fine. So I'll click on File, Open. The program that I am opening is registration. Now, we all of us know that when we run this program, on which browser the program will work? It will work on the Firefox. See, I think I already have Firefox opened on my machine. So when I run this program on the Firefox browser, you will see it's navigating to my site, and whatever we have recorded, everything it's doing. Now what I want to do is, though the recording is done on the Firefox browser, execution I want to do on Chrome browser. Okay, so I'll show you how it happens. To work on Chrome browser, some basic setup is necessary, which means we need to download some jar files. We also need to download a particular exe file. We need to have JDK installed on our machine. Okay, so I'll give you the notes later, but please understand, on my machine I am having JDK 1.7 installed. You can install either JDK 1.7 or 1.8. Don't go with older versions. Put either 1.7 or 1.8, anything will work. How to download and install JDK, next step we'll see that, but just keep in mind you have to have JDK 1.7 installed, and after that you go to our official site seleniumhq.org and then you click on downloads. Now the Selenium standalone server, we have to download it, but this feature, though they say that it's a stable version, there are a lot of issues in it, so we'll go with the previous version. Click on previous releases and just leave the three version beta versions you leave. What is the next biggest version we have? 2.53. Click on that 2.53 and download either Selenium server standalone 2.53.0 or 53.1. Any one of them is okay. I'll download the last one. Just click on it. A jar file gets downloaded. Now on my machine it's already downloaded, so I don't want to repeat that activity. But once you download it, this is what you will actually see. A Selenium server jar file will come up. I think, wait, it's in my downloads. Just give me a second. Yes, this is the jar file. Okay, 2.53.1, a single file will get downloaded. Now for my convenience, I'll copy it from here and I will paste it on my desktop. Wherever you put doesn't matter. Okay, the next one, friends, from the same site, uh, the seleniumhq.org site, okay, on the downloads tab, just go a little down, you will find third-party browser drivers not developed by Selenium HQ. There you will find Google Chrome driver. What is the latest available version? 2.29. Click on that and you have Chrome driver for Linux, Mac, Windows. So depending on which operating system you are using, download the corresponding version. I am downloading the Windows version, a very small folder, 3.6 MB. Now you extract it and open it. It's still getting downloaded. Fine. This is the Chrome driver we downloaded. Just right click on it and then you click on extract. It's a zipped file, right? So we have to extract it. So friends, I think this was the Chrome driver folder that we have downloaded. Yes, today's date. Open that folder. Do you see there is an exe file? The path of this exe file I have to give in the program. What I'll do is, for my convenience, again I will copy this from this location. Okay, everything will put on the desktop. You put in some folder structure, anything is okay. So the Selenium jar file is present on my desktop. The Chrome driver is also present on my desktop. Now we have to start the server. Just go into command prompt. At which location do I have the jar file? Desktop. So I'll say cd change directory. Go to the desktop and this is the command. Java-jar Selenium server standalone, whatever jar file we have given. Wait, one more option we have to pass. -d webdriver dot chrome dot driver and specify the location where the Chrome driver is present. Chrome driver dot exe, that is also present on my desktop, right? And now you continue with the remaining command. That's it. That's it. Selenium server is up and running. You get this message. Once you get this message, come back to your IDE, click on options, again click on options, click on WebDriver, click on enable WebDriver playback. Default it will be on Firefox, but you can choose any of these which are available over here. I will select Chrome. See what that fellow is saying. WebDriver playback is still an experimental feature and may not be very stable. So we can't always expect that things will work. If they are working, good. Otherwise, fine. We can't do anything. Okay. So just click on OK. Whenever you make any such changes, restart your IDE. Close IDE and start it one more time. Now, if I run this program, friends, the registration program, you will see that it will run on the Chrome browser. Don't worry, I'll give all the navigations, but please watch. I am closing the existing Chrome browser on my machine. I will close the Firefox browser also. Currently, I don't have any browser opened on my machine except my IDE. Now, I will run the program. See what happens. It will launch Chrome. Is it launching Chrome browser? And trying to do the same test, the registration program that we have created. It's showing on the top, Chrome is being controlled by automated test software. This is a feature which has been implemented recently on IDE. Now this is a answer to one of the question that you posed in one of the previous sessions. Why partiality for Firefox? It's not partiality. Initially they created IDE in such a way that maybe their requirement was only for Firefox. Now slowly they are trying to implement IDE on other browsers also. Now, friends, one more thing.
I have a question.
Yeah?
Sorry?
Yeah?
I have a question. Here. So,
Yeah.
like here we are launching the Chrome browser, right? But when we are running on Firefox, we are not launching the browser. Already the browser, if the browser Firefox browser is there, then we are executing the script.
True.
So like
on the Firefox, the default version of IDE that we have learned, Naveen, cannot launch the browsers.
okay.
It can't launch the
But
browsers. What it can do is,
for Chrome,
if the browser is launched, all it can do is it can navigate to the URL and it can do the testing. But the latest feature that you are seeing, which we have tried to learn today, this latest feature, they have incorporated the concept of launching the browser and everything.
okay.
Okay, Naveen?
Fine.
See,
Yeah.
there might be some confusions, but don't worry, because unfortunately, I just got reminded about it just now. Though we did not promise in the course content, we are actually covering one more concept in Selenium, which is called as Selenium Builder. Winner Everaina? Selenium Builder. How IDE is a record and playback tool of Selenium. Similarly, there is one more record and playback tool of Selenium, which is called as Selenium Builder, which can support multiple browsers and multiple operating systems. Okay, we forgot to mention that in our course content. And one of the students actually called me on Saturday asking me whether we will really cover everything which is promised in the course content. 100% we will cover. 100% we'll cover. At the end of the course, if you can just pinpoint one item in the complete course content saying that this has not been covered, we'll return your fees. ఒక్క పాయింట్ తీసుకురండి, తీసుకొచ్చి say that sir you did not cover this, we will completely return your fees. So 100% everything will be covered, and apart from that, Selenium Builder, which is not promised in your course content, even that will be covered. Okay, few more days we'll actually go into that also. Okay, as of now, please take down the navigations for working on multiple browsers. Okay, just take a note. IDE can do recording. Okay, IDE can perform recording. IDE can perform recording on Firefox browser only. IDE can perform recording on Firefox browser only. But this recorded script, can be executed on different browsers. Can be executed on different browsers. Okay, take down. For executing on Chrome, these are the steps. Download and install JDK 1.7 or 1.8. First step is download and install JDK 1.7 or 1.8. Any one of them is sufficient. Okay. Next, download Selenium server jar. Download Selenium server jar. How do you download the Selenium server jar? I hope all of you remember the navigations. What are we doing? We are first opening a site called seleniumhq.org, and on this site you are clicking on which tab? Download tab. Okay, take down. Open seleniumhq.org. Click on download. Just look at the screen. On the download page, on the left hand corner, you have a link called previous releases. Click on previous releases. Click on previous releases. You know what? Generally, the pattern that we follow in organizations is whatever is the latest version of a software. Let us say the Selenium community has come up with the latest version. Generally, organizations don't prefer to use it because we don't know to what extent it is stable. So generally what we do is, if N is the latest version, we prefer to go with N minus tooth version. That is the standard which is generally followed. Okay, 2.53 latest version and Kondi, we will go with 2.51 or 50, something like that. Most of the organizations follow this standard. Okay, so in this page you click on which link? 2.53. Take down, click on 2.53. Click on 2.53.
I have one more question on this. Actually, like, why they are keeping all these versions? They can keep only the latest version, or the as you said, N or N minus 2, right? So why they are keeping all the versions to, and it is making people more confused, right? So why are they?
No, Naveen, there is a
Because
reason.
any
There's a reason, Naveen. There's a reason. See, I'll tell you. Actually, in the older versions of Selenium, there are some concepts which have been upgraded or changed and which don't work on the latest versions. For example, the Selenium 2.53 version that I have downloaded, if you want to use this, you need to have a Firefox browser between somewhere around 40 to 46. Firefox 40, 41, 42, 43. Now let's say your client's requirement is to do the testing on Firefox 25 or 26 older versions. The Selenium jar 2.53 will not support. You need to have an older version of the jar file.
okay.
You're understanding? See, you can have applications where you might have to test the same application on Firefox, let's say starting from Firefox 25 to 50, all versions I want to test. So one single jar file will probably be supporting the latest versions. It can't go to the older version. So you have to have that. That's one reason. And there are a lot of changes which happen with every version. For example, there's a version called 2.21 or older, 2.21 and older. If you see, there are some classes which will support Android applications and iOS applications which are not supported by 2.53. So you want to do some kind of mobile testing, then again we have to go for older versions. There is something called headless testing where HTML unit driver will run the program on background. That if you want to do, 2.53 will not support. I have to go with older version. 2.53 supporting something called Phantom JS, which is another headless browser. So some new components are incorporated, older things are removed. So if you have a scenario where you still want to work on those older components, we have to go with the suitable older version of the jar file.
So you mean to say, like, the browser compatibility, based on the browser compatibility, we need to take these files, right?
Absolutely.
These jar files, right?
Absolutely.
So if that is the case, how would I know, like, this 2.53 will set to Firefox 40 version or something like that? How would I know?
Change logs. You have the documentation in Selenium's site which is called as change logs, where they'll clearly show you each version of the Selenium server. It supports which versions of Firefox they'll show you.
Okay.
We will see that also. In the documentation, whenever they are
Okay.
releasing a new version of the jar file, they'll say that, okay, this version has been released to support these and these browser versions. So you can actually go through that documentation.
Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So we are just clicking on 2.53, friends. And wait, after clicking on 2.53, just write down this one. Click on that jar file. Selenium server standalone. Next step, third step, download Chrome driver exe file. Download Chrome driver exe file. To download Chrome driver exe file, again more or less the same navigations. The first one is open seleniumhq.org. Click on download. Click on download. Go to This is where we are coming. Third-party browser drivers. Go to, write down that complete statement. Go to third-party browser drivers not developed by Selenium HQ. Download the version related to Chrome. Download the version related to Chrome. Download the version related to Chrome. Extract it and open it. Extract it and open it. We will find Chrome driver.exe file. The path of this file should be specified. The path of this file should be specified in command prompt. The next step, open command prompt. Open command prompt. Okay, I'll just stop that command and copy that command. It's shutting down. How do you shut down? Simply say Control C. Control C will terminate the server that you have started. It's taking so much time. Fine. Let me just copy the command. I just want the command. Where did we write it? I think this is the command, right? Yes. Take down the command. Java-d webdriver.chrome.driver. Okay, next. Open IDE, continue. Open IDE, open IDE, click on options, open IDE, click on options. One more time you click on options, click on options, options. Then where we are clicking, click on WebDriver. Click on WebDriver. Click on WebDriver. Click on WebDriver tab and then check Enable WebDriver Playback. Check Enable WebDriver Playback. Check Enable WebDriver Playback. And the last thing is change the browser name as Chrome. Change the browser name as Chrome. Change the browser name as Chrome. Click on OK. Click on OK. Restart IDE. Click on OK. restart IDE. Okay, so if you run this program, you will see that it will work on which browser, friends? Now, I know a lot of steps are there for running the program, a simple program on Chrome browser. In Selenium Builder, things will be much more easier. Selenium Builder can also do the same kind of recording, but it has much more advanced features, like it can run parallelly on multiple browsers, so many things it can do. Okay, that probably will, the course content that we have sent to you as soft copy, in that course content, I'll ask people to add the builder concepts also, and we'll send it back so that you can just go through that. We'll see that as we go with the sessions. Okay, so friends, that's it. IDE, I want to wind up. Okay, now it's your choice whether you want to go through all these IDE concepts or not. Whether you practice it or not does not matter. Now we will actually start off with the actual part of the Selenium course, which is working on Java and WebDriver. For today, we will not go into WebDriver. We'll just talk about this installation part, what is the basic setup that is necessary, we'll see. Tomorrow onwards, we'll start the actual course. Okay, so friends, as I told you, in order to work on WebDriver, we need to have JDK 1.7 or 1.8. I would prefer 1.7 because there are certain features in Cucumber and other things which will work properly if it's 1.7. 1.8 might give problems. So preferably you download 1.7. In case you are not able to get it, 1.8 is also okay. Tell me, Java is a product of which organization? Oracle, right? Just go into Google, and the first thing that you do is you say JDK 1.7 download. This is the first site you see there, Oracle site. Now, if you click on this Oracle site, directly they are saying this version of JDK is no longer current. So you click on this page, directly it will redirect you to JDK 1.8. Now it's okay. Even if you download JDK 1.8 also, it's not a problem. So just come to this JDK 1.8, click on this tab, and there it will simply ask you to accept your license agreement. And depending on which type of operating system you are using, if you are using Mac OS, go with this version. If you're using Windows 32-bit version, go with this one. If you're using 64-bit version, download that. Click on it. Next, next, next. This is JDK 1.8. Now, if you feel that I don't want 1.8, I just want 1.7 only, on the same page, if you go, on the previous page where we have seen all this, if you go a little down, you will find Java archive. What is the meaning of archives? Older versions, everything will be there. Now click on download, and there you can specify which version we want. We don't want 8, we want which version? 7. Okay, just click on that 7 version, and same drama, accept your license agreement, and if it's a 32-bit machine or a 64-bit machine, download the corresponding version and install it. Again, I suggest 1.7 is better, but okay, 1.8 also we can manage. Okay, so the first step is downloading and installing JDK 1.7 or 1.8. Now probably you're aware that Java programs can be created in Notepad. Almost anywhere you can create the Java programs. But generally we see that in most of the organizations, wherever Selenium is implemented, Java programs are created in an interface called Eclipse. Eclipse is not the only interface. There are a lot of other interfaces, but Eclipse is most widely used. So after installing JDK, the second thing you do is simply go into Google, and this time you type Eclipse IDE for Java EE developers. What is the meaning of EE developers? Enterprise edition. Okay, generally organizations use this version of Eclipse. Okay, generally. So again, don't download any fancy version of Eclipse. Eclipse you have for C, C++, for Android. Okay, I want you to download only Eclipse for Java EE developers. Now click on this link, and you have different releases over here. Either you click on any one of these release and download it, or else if you don't want all this confusion, directly specify which operating system you want. My machine is a 64-bit machine, so I'll click on 64 and just click on download. Eclipse will be downloaded onto your machine. So in order to continue with tomorrow's sessions, we require two things. One is JDK should be installed, and Eclipse should be downloaded. If someone is facing any problem with the downloading of JDK and Eclipse, you can just bring your pen drives. Our people will give you the 64-bit version or 32-bit version, whatever you want. But just do that. Just do that. Okay. I'll stop the class today also a little early. But tomorrow onwards, the session timing will be what? 7:45 to 9:15. Okay. 7:45 to 9:15. Today, actually yesterday I went out of station. Today I returned a little late. So we started at 8 o'clock. But from tomorrow, it will start at 7:45. We'll have the complete session again. It does not matter whether you practice the last 3 sessions concepts or not. But starting from tomorrow, whatever we are going to discuss, whether it's Java or WebDriver, all of those are very, very important. So please, at least for the coming 2 weeks, do not miss even a single session, because